Good morning team, it's Gavin here from the Growing Younger team, and today's little video is about how to make low calorie filling eggy bread, as we say from Wales, or French toast, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and bring an old sort of recipe together, which is traditionally high in fat and high in calories and really sort of indulgent and kind of only a special kind of meal you wouldn't have every day, to something that you can eat on a daily basis. And I actually do eat this quite regularly because it's really nice. It feels like a bit of a treat even though it isn't, and it's full of protein, low calories. It takes quite a bit of time to eat it, which is really good, because ultimately if you have a bowl of oats, you can eat it in 3 or 4 spoonfuls. You kind of still feel a bit hungry afterwards, and this really does the trick for me. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay team, so the ingredients I'm going to be using are these Vogel Thins, okay? Obviously back to front, but they basically cut a lot more thinner than normal bread, okay? So for an example, you've got this ploughman's bread here, okay? And the Vogel Thins are 117 calories for 2 slices, and the other one's 189 calories for 2 slices, okay? So obviously, you could have just 2 of these. It's the same kind of quantity of food, but it's less calories because it's smaller, if that makes sense. It's a smaller portion size. So when we're looking to lose weight, get fit and healthy, and cook as well, it's about reducing portion sizes. So what would ultimately happen is that when I'm eating, say I had 2 of those ploughmans and I had 2 of these Vogels, I still the same eating time. I'm still cutting, I'm still eating. It takes the same amount of time, just less calories. And your body's not going to really know the difference in fullness straight afterwards, because literally, you're eating it in a certain kind of speed. And your body doesn't really realize, but I'm ultimately saving quite a lot of calories by doing it. Next thing I'm going to be doing, so instead of using whole full eggs, I'm going to be using egg whites, okay? 200 milliliters of egg whites. So with the egg whites, they're really high in protein, really low in calories. So I think for one portion size is about just over 100 calories for 200 grams. So obviously, it's quite a lot of volume, low in calories, high in protein, keeps you full, which is awesome. The other things I'm going to use as well is vanilla essence, okay? Really cool to use, makes lots of flavor for the bread anyway. And then I'm going to use a no added sugar Natvia Chocolate sauce to put on top. And instead of using normal peanut butter, okay, this peanut butter, okay, really high in calories, I'm going to use powdered peanut butter, very low in calories, about the half the difference in calories for both of them. And the last thing I'm going to use is one of these. Pretty cool, okay? This is where you're going to soak your bread in, okay? So I'm going to do that right now, and I'll show you how it's done. So I'm going to be using this nice big container, okay? And I'm going to use a weighing scales as well. So people think it's a bit of a drama to weigh food. It actually isn't, okay? So I've got a container where I'm going to put this stuff in anyway. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to plonk it on my container. I'm going to hit 0, okay? That is all I'm going to do. Hurry up, go to 0. Whoop. There you go, cool. So now what I'm going to do then, I'm going to literally pour in my egg whites. Not even so there's 190, that's kind of all that was left in here in the end. Then I'm going to just add in a little bit of vanilla essence. Probably just about, I don't know, 10 mils or something, not a huge amount. Done. Alright, then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just soak my bread in there for a little bit. But missing ingredient, sorry about that, cinnamon, okay? So I'll put a little bit of cinnamon in there, really makes it a lot better. Then all you're gonna do is literally give it a bit of a mix up, okay? Doesn't need to be too super combined, but give it a bit of a mix. Takes a little bit of a while for that cinnamon to sort of dissolve into it, but that's cool. So that's kind of how it looks. Now I'm using 4 slices of bread, okay? Because my calories is probably different need to you, and that's cool. And what I'd like, and for me, obviously, if instead of having 4 pieces of normal bread, which would be like loads of calories, I just have 4 pieces of the thins. That works really well for me. And depending on your calorie needs, will be dependent on how you do it, right? So I'm gonna come over here now. I'm gonna literally turn this on. Nice high heat on the pan. And I'm going to use this spray oil and just basically spray the bottom of the pan just a little bit, okay? Because this actually does have calories in it, even though it says on there, well, actually on this one it says it's 40 calories per serve, which is good to know. Some low-fat spray, or some spray oil say there's no calories in there, when it actually is. So just be mindful of that. So a little bit of a spray, probably about 20 calories in that spray, and I'm going to wait for that to get nice and warm, and I'm going to add in my my bread. So it takes probably about, I don't know, a minute or so just to get the bread to absorb all the mixture, okay? And once that's done, doesn't really matter too much how you do it. You're just going to chuck it in the pan and you're going to let it cook. Wait till it's brown on both sides, and it'll take a couple of minutes and you're pretty much ready to go. It is really, really that simple, okay? I'm going to show you now. So very carefully transport your bread to the pan. And sometimes the bread will break, okay? So just be mindful of that, otherwise you'll have lots of bits everywhere. Now I'm trying to do this, holding the camera, and do this at the same time. And obviously, I'm not very good at it. It's harder than it looks. I don't know how these YouTube chefs do it, but I obviously got a really cheap ass setup. But anyway, you get the idea. So get the pan in, get it all in and under together. Bit of an overlap, that's cool. And then you're going to do that little one in the middle. So just flip this over, and nice and brown on the sides and on the back, and we're nearly done. Now, as an optional extra, I like to use frozen blueberries as well, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop these about 60 grams in the microwave while the rest of it cooks, and they come out just about cooked, nice and warm, and I'll pop them on, and I'll show you how it all looks at the end. Okay, so what now the toast, French toast is out on my plate now, okay? And then you got this, the rest of the mixture, okay? The rest of this mixture stuff, okay? Now what do you do with that? But what I do is that I'm going to pop it into the hot pan now. So maybe give the pan a little bit of a spray with oil if you need to, if you haven't got a really good non-stick pan. And then pop it in. You have a tiny like little egg white omelette to finish. So, in the pan, I'm going to just put it in. Okay, and that takes no time at all to cook. Wait for it to all to start sort of bubbling around. Okay, once it's cooked through, I just turn her in half and we're good to go. So fold it in half that way. Fold it again. And that's your egg whites, and that just pops on about there. Chocolate sauce, and just drizzle it on the top. Okay, it's about 6 to 12 calories per serve, which is awesome, alright? Pop that there. Now I get my peanut butter out and sprinkle that on top. So I'm going to pop into the powdered peanut butter right there. Just drizzle it over the top. So that is my eggy bread French toast, okay? So all that there is about 450 calories, okay? So you could literally cut the calories by having only 2 slices of bread. Come back here, okay? Or have half the egg whites, okay? But I wouldn't recommend that because the egg whites are protein and low calorie and is good, okay? So that's cool. Do whatever works for you, right? So in perspective, that whole meal is just over 400 calories, and this little bowl of oats is the same amount of calories, okay, as that. Now, what would you prefer to have? Would you prefer to have this or this? Okay, you decide, okay? So, literally, same amount of calories. Oats aren't necessarily healthier than this, okay? This is Vogel Thins, is very high in fiber, so all the other good stuff. I'll leave all the details on after the video's finished, but that is how you make really low-calorie eggy bread. A 400 calorie meal for me is low calorie. It may be 350 for you. You take 1 slice of bread away, okay? Or you have half the peanut butter powder that I had. But whatever you need to do, you can adjust this recipe to make it fit your own calorie goals. It is really that simple, okay? If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. If you're on this on YouTube, give me a subscribe if you like. I'm going to try and do more of these videos. If you're on Facebook, give it a share, let other people know about it. And that is how you make low calorie eggy bread. Have fun, guys. Bye-bye.